Okay, I'm over here at One Stop Shell Station where I did the beer cave. You see that way over there? So Heather posted a comment about doing underwater scenes, and so I'm going to take a minute to try to do a brief rundown on a very complex subject. You can see there behind me that I've got this wave splashing up behind this girl that's fallen over because that girl's getting tipped off of her inner tube by that chubby guy, by that guy laughing. So I've got this whole scene. Let me back up so you can see it. Get off my ladder. Here's the whole scene. Okay. So I'm going to take a minute and talk about this picture. So when you're doing underwater scenes, there's a very heavy atmospheric effect. So just like things get more like the sky color as they get further away in a normal landscape, they get closer to the watercolor way sooner. So if something's only 20 feet away underwater, then it just blends into the color of the water and it disappears. I mean, you're not even going to see 100 feet underwater. So on this wave, you can see that I've toned everything to that blue-green as it transitions halfway under the water. So that's the first step. Well, light diffuses when it goes in water, so the shadows are softer, and because there's a layer of water in between you and the shadows, there's a layer of illuminated water between you and the shadows, so the shadows are never as black, never as vivid. So now let me talk about the filtered light that's on the back side of that wave. Notice that it's a very pure, bright green. So that's because if there's water in between you and the light source, the water will filter it and it'll be a much brighter, pure color than if it's reflected, because reflected light has the influence of a lot of other objects around it, whereas if it's filtered, you're seeing all the color of that substance that filtered it. I hope that makes sense. So you can see that pure green causes it to look like it's back on the other side of that wave, whereas that gray or bluer color is just reflected light from the sky coming off the top of the water. So if you want things to look like they're underwater, you just crunch the contrast, low contrast, and just pretend like you're putting a blanket of the watercolor over everything. And then notice the gradation, how closer to the surface I have a lighter, brighter green, while as it gets down lower, see even over here, it gets deeper, because unlike the sky, it gets darker as it gets lower rather than lighter as it gets lower. Well, there's so much more to say about this. It is a complex subject. But anyway, maybe this is helpful a little bit. Back up so you can see the whole thing from up here. Just some fun in the sun.